Chapter 3507. Fully Automated Puppet Factory. Lin Moyu allowed the divine runes under his feet to carry him forward. The divine runes brought him into building after building. Lin Moyu's eyes showed both curiosity and familiarity. The curiosity was because this was the first time he had seen such buildings on the origin continent. The skyscrapers here were completely different from the style of the origin continent, and instead were more similar to the steel jungles of his previous life. It was precisely because of this that he felt a strange sense of familiarity. Most of the buildings he passed were already damaged. Many turned to ruins, and after countless years of erosion, had turned to sand. After his arrival, these already broken ruins quickly turned to powder, no longer showing their original appearance. In some places, because of the presence of divine runes, protected by the divine runes, they were able to maintain a relatively complete form. Lin Moyu knew that even divine runes, if not maintained, would have some problems after so many years. As he continued to look around, gradually, he finally saw the true purpose of this city, and a sense of indescribable shock rose in his heart. There weren't many things that could shock him, but this definitely counted as one.
This is actually a factory for producing puppets.
Lin Moyu couldn't imagine that in this world of cultivating the great Tao and magic, there would be a fully automated factory for producing puppets. Even though there were technology-based treasures like Lu Lian and the Human Emperor in the origin continent, it wasn't enough to have such a large-scale automated factory. It wasn't hard to imagine that when this factory was intact, working together with the divine runes, it could mass-produce puppets. An endless stream of puppets, providing enough powerful combat strength for the entire Tao Protection Fortress. This shows that in prehistoric times, the cultivators in the origin continent had already mastered very advanced technology. This technology was completely incompatible with the origin continent, so it could only be said that this technology was foreign. It might have come from some technology-based world, or it might have come from the ancestral origin land. But no matter where it came from, the cultivators on the origin continent had made full use of it, and combined it with divine runes to form their own system.
This is the Tao Protection Fortress of the Tao sect. The Tao Puppet sect must have mastered more core technology, and they might even know where these technological things came from. If there's a chance in the future to enter the outer sky Great Tao, it might be worth visiting the Tao Puppet sect.
Lin Moyu continued to be carried forward by the divine runes. The divine rune he was standing on now should be something like a conveyor belt in the Tao Protection Fortress. The formations in the Tao Protection Fortress would send large amounts of raw materials into this giant factory, processing and producing step by step, finally manufacturing complete puppets, then sending them out. So this factory that looked like a city was full of similar conveyor belts, specifically for transportation. The conveyor belt carried Lin Moyu to the center of the factory. When the transportation stopped, what appeared before Lin Moyu's eyes was a circular building about 100 meters high. This building looked like a stadium from his previous life. The formation that should have been arranged here had been damaged. If the formation was still intact, the manufactured puppets should have been sent to this circular building. Lin Moyu flew up and saw that from all directions of the building, there were 16 conveyor belts coming directly.
After the puppets are manufactured, they all finally come here. Is this a warehouse inside? Or does it have some other function? Enemies must have invaded here back then. The building has several gaps beaten into it. The formation has been destroyed. That means the manufacture of puppets ended here. Coming here must be very important.
Lin Moyu pondered for a moment, then flew in through a gap. Before he could fly in, suddenly a strong light came towards him. Lin Moyu instinctively retreated to avoid the strong light. The strong light shot straight up to the sky, lasting for 2 seconds before gradually disappearing. The attack of the strong light was very powerful, almost surpassing the 9th level of Tao Venerable.
Is this an automatic defense system? It's still operating after so many years.
Lin Moyu knew he couldn't enter through the gaps. Otherwise, he would definitely be attacked. He wasn't clear how many such defense systems were in the circular building. If there were too many, forcing his way in wouldn't be a pretty sight. Of course, he could force his way in, but that would inevitably cause damage to this building. If there were any opportunities, they might be destroyed along with it. After all, this was one of the few relatively intact buildings in the entire city, and it was located at the center of the formation. Its defense system was still operating. This indicated that there might be some data from back then inside, which would be extremely valuable to Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu pondered methods to enter. After a moment, he shifted his focus to the formation outside the building. Although the formation was mostly damaged, some of it could still be faintly discerned. Based on his understanding of formations, he could roughly guess the function of this formation. He flew around the building in circles, studying the formation.
This formation seems to be for imprinting a mark. That's right, it's for imprinting a mark. Only puppets marked by the formation can safely enter the building without being attacked. Then can this mark be imprinted on myself?
Lin Moyu suddenly had an idea. If he treated himself as a puppet, could the mark that was supposed to be imprinted on puppets be imprinted on himself instead? Then could he pretend to be a puppet, deceive the defense system here, and successfully enter? Lin Moyu decided to try. So the first step was to repair the formation outside the building specifically used for imprinting marks. It didn't need to be fully repaired, just partially repaired would do. Lin Moyu's experience in repairing formations at Nine Heavens Peak came in handy again. He quickly calculated the missing divine runes in the formation, then set about drawing them. While drawing the divine runes, Lin Moyu sensed the battle aura transmitted from afar. The three ancestors and the Beast Emperor had already engaged with that black slaughter puppet, and obviously they were fighting fiercely. This wasn't his business. Lin Moyu continued drawing the divine runes. This time, the divine runes weren't drawn quickly. Lin Moyu didn't seek speed but stability. As long as it could succeed in one go, it didn't matter if it was slow. Several divine runes were drawn in about 10 minutes. Then all flew into the formation, taking root in different positions. The newly added divine runes connected with the ancient divine runes, and this formation that had been dormant for many years began to operate again. Lin Moyu stood in the formation, simultaneously controlling the formation, leaving a mark on himself. He felt a special aura added to his body. Rather than calling it a mark, it was more like an aura for identifying identity. Lin Moyu carried this aura and entered through the main entrance of the building. The gate was incomplete. Lin Moyu walked in slowly, very cautiously, because he didn't know if the formation he had repaired would work. Fortunately, his idea wasn't wrong and he wasn't attacked, until he entered the building and saw the weapon that had attacked him earlier. It was something shaped like a large cannon, but what powered it was an intact formation. Inside the building now, there were over 100 such defense cannons. Having already seen the fully automated factory, now seeing the cannons, Lin Moyu was somewhat used to it. Following the direction indicated by the formation on the ground, Lin Moyu walked to the center of the building. Here was a row of tables, obviously where people had worked before. On one of the tables, Lin Moyu saw a jade tablet. Chapter 3508. They all must die. Jade tablets are the most common tool used by cultivators to record information, and this jade tablet was of particularly high quality, surpassing many Dao venerable realm treasures. Even after so many years, it remained intact. Lin Moyu took the jade tablet in his hand. His soul stirred slightly, and he received the information inside.
Today, 180 puppets were manufactured, including 123rd grade, 42nd grade, and 21st grade. The first grade ones are handed over to the friends from the Great Dao Formation sect to set up formations, while the second and third grade ones will have formations set up by us from the Dao Puppet sect. The great battle continues, and puppet materials are already insufficient. Our manufactured black slaughter puppets have made great contributions, slaying several more powerful beings from the Black Blood realm. It's a pity that the materials for making black slaughter puppets are too scarce to mass produce. Otherwise, we would surely win this battle. The people from the Great Dao Formation sect are too protective, unwilling to give us their strongest formations. They don't have enough formation masters, and their efficiency is extremely low. This sect doesn't consider the bigger picture. They deserve to die.
The information was somewhat chaotic, mostly this person's complaints, and the ending was very rushed. Lin Moyu could imagine that at that time, the battle must have reached this place, and he either retreated or went to join the fight, leaving this jade tablet behind in haste. From the various complaints, a lot of information could be analyzed. The owner of the jade tablet was a formation master from the Tao puppet sect. Puppets also needed formations. Without formations, puppets were just immobile lumps. Although the Tao puppet sect was skilled in making puppets, they were not as good at formations as the Great Tao formation sect. During the origin catastrophe, the owner of the jade tablet felt that the Great Tao formation sect should have shared their best formations for puppets, allowing the Tao puppet sect's formation masters to set up corresponding formations to enhance the puppet's combat power. But the Great Tao formation sect was unwilling to hand over their formations. So this formation master from the Tao puppet sect cursed the Great Tao formation sect fiercely in his heart, even feeling they deserved to die. Looking at his tone, there was even a sense of self-righteousness. However, what he truly thought in his heart is unclear. Lin Moyu put away the jade tablet. The information in the jade tablet, for him, only helped understand some things that happened in the past. Its real use wasn't very significant. Looking around, there were also many traces of battle here, indicating that the battle back then had reached inside. So whether this formation master from the Tao puppet sect ultimately made it out alive was hard to say. Near a pile of rubble, Lin Moyu saw another jade tablet. The broken stones next to the jade tablet were a bit dark in color, like bloodstains. Lin Moyu went over and picked up the jade tablet, and the broken stones immediately turned to powder. The jade tablet was no longer complete, mostly shattered. If there was information recorded inside, it must have been damaged. As his soul stirred, fragmented information came through.
The formation of the black slaughter puppet has flaws. Why didn't they say so earlier? Why? Dead, all dead, no one can escape. Haha, idiots from the Great Tao formation sect, you didn't give us the formations, so let's all die together. You want to leave? I won't give you the chance.
The recorded information was even more chaotic and extremely frenzied. However, from the tone, Lin Moyu could tell that this person was the owner of the previous jade tablet, that formation master from the Tao puppet sect who liked to complain. It seems he didn't manage to escape and ultimately died here. And before he died, he also vented his hatred towards the Great Tao formation sect. The formation masters from the Great Tao formation sect wanted to escape, but he stopped them and they died here together. Great Tao realm powerhouses, because their Tao hearts are firm enough, once they decide on something, it's very difficult to change. So a firm Tao heart also has two sides. Sometimes it can make people become stubborn.
So, the formation of the black slaughter puppet had flaws. No wonder they lost their reason. If the Great Tao formation sect didn't reveal this, it was indeed a bit too much. Could it be that the ones who finally attacked here weren't external enemies, but the black slaughter puppets? If that's true, then their deaths were quite unjust.
Lin Moyu sighed lightly. The events of the past were long gone. The dust had settled, and nothing could be changed. His gaze continued to scan the interior of the building, searching for traces left behind from the past. This was the center of the entire puppet factory, arguably the most valuable place. And since the people here back then couldn't escape, if there were any materials or treasures, they would only be left here. Lin Moyu looked around but didn't find anything. Feeling slightly disappointed, he suddenly saw a glimmer of light seeping out from a small hole. The light was very faint, but Lin Moyu accurately captured it. There were many small holes on the ground, all made by weapons inside the building. These weapons had very strong attack power, products of the combination of formations and technology, probably made by the Tao puppet sect. There had been a great battle inside the building back then, and these weapons had been used, forming many fist-sized holes in the ground. Lin Moyu walked to the hole and looked down, seeing that there was actually another layer below.
That's right. Back then those formation masters from the Great Tao formation sect also had to set up formations for the puppets. To prevent the formation masters from the Tao puppet sect from learning, they must have sought other places. It makes sense that there's a second layer here.
He had searched around earlier and hadn't found an entrance to the next level. Obviously, this entrance had been deliberately sealed. Lin Moyu punched the ground, and cracks immediately appeared on the surface. However, the cracks were only on the surface. To break through this layer of ground, his strength was still a bit lacking. Not just him, even Supu would find it very difficult. The skeleton hell appeared in response, and the hell fiends all crawled on the ground, beginning to gnaw at the surface. If they couldn't break it, then they would eat it. The hell fiends could eat anything. Although their realm wasn't high enough, they could still eat away the ground, just at a slower speed. If speed wasn't enough, then they would make up for it with numbers. A large number of hell fiends lay on the ground, biting non-stop, one mouthful after another, constantly making grating sounds. Under the continuous gnawing of the hell fiends, the ground began to show obvious concavity, and a hole was rapidly forming. Lin Moyu wasn't in a hurry. While the hell fiends were gnawing at the ground, he continued to scan the surroundings, trying not to miss any detail, ensuring true thoroughness. There were still many divine runes inside the building. These divine runes were once part of a powerful formation. Unfortunately, this formation could no longer exert its power now, only maintaining the most basic function of protecting the building from the erosion of time. Lin Moyu tried to learn divine rune knowledge from the broken formation, but it was quite difficult. He could only do his best to try. After a full half-day, the ground was finally gnawed into a hole over 5 meters in diameter, revealing the situation of the next layer. Lin Moyu entered and his pupils suddenly contracted. Several black slaughter puppets were lying around. But upon closer inspection, these black slaughter puppets had long been smashed, and the spirits inside had long since died. There had also been a fierce battle here. Being underground, it was better preserved, and many bloodstains could still be seen. There were even several bloodstains from the mouths of the black slaughter puppets. Then Lin Moyu saw a section of a corpse. The corpse still emitted a powerful aura. It was the body of a heavenly venerable realm being. Chapter 3509. This person must be sick. The remains of a great Tao realm being still retained the characteristics of the great Tao realm, not decaying no matter how many years passed. The great Tao realm beings who died in the upper level didn't leave behind corpses, which undoubtedly meant they were eaten. The scene before him now proved his guess. Part of these remains was still in the mouth of a black slaughter puppet. This basically indicated that after those great Tao realm beings died above, their corpses were eaten by the black slaughter puppets. Lin Moyu walked over and picked up the remains.
This should be an arm. The arm was eaten, with only a section left.
Even if only a section remained, or even just a piece of flesh, it was still something good for Lin Moyu. He didn't know what realm the owner of these remains was in life, but it was certainly Great Tao realm. Even if he was the weakest Great Tao realm being, using it to activate corpse explosion would still have a wonderful effect. There was still a hidden Great Tao realm being on the origin continent now, so he needed more trump cards. That drop of black blood might not be usable, but these remains could definitely be used. Happily putting away the remains, Lin Moyu's gaze fell on something.
This is...
In the mouth of the black slaughter puppet, there was actually a ring. Lin Moyu took it in hand and examined it carefully. The ring was exquisite, its aura subtle yet powerful, already beyond the scope of the Tao Venerable Realm.
This is a great Tao realm storage ring. I wonder what's inside.
The storage ring should have belonged to the owner of the severed arm when they were alive. Now that they were dead, the soul imprint on the storage ring had disappeared with them, becoming an ownerless item. Lin Moyu used his soul power to claim ownership of the storage ring anew. If it were an ordinary Tao Venerable Realm being, it would be very difficult to make a great Tao realm treasure recognize a new master. But Lin Moyu had no problem with this. His soul was already an innate soul and an 8th grade innate soul at that. Claiming ownership of a storage ring wasn't difficult. A moment later, the ownership of the storage ring was complete, and all the items inside were revealed to Lin Moyu. The space inside the storage ring was very large, like a small world, but the space clearly had problems. Lin Moyu sensed that a large hole had appeared in the space inside the storage ring. Many things in the ring had been sucked away by this hole entering spatial turbulence. Looking more closely at the storage ring, there were indeed several cracks on it, obviously bitten by the black slaughter puppet.
What a pity!
There should have been many good things in a Great Tao Realm storage ring, but now most of them were gone. Lin Moyu examined what was left. Most were materials, along with some not very high-grade treasures. He didn't recognize many of the materials, only roughly judging that they were Great Tao Realm materials. Besides these, there were also several boxes. Taking out the boxes and opening them, inside was all powder.
This is powder ground from origin crystals. Was this person a formation master from the Great Tao formation sect?
Powder ground from origin crystals could be combined with soul power to become ink for drawing divine runes. And on the box was written a large character for
Formation.
in divine runes, basically indicating the origin of this box, an item from the Great Tao Formation sect. Having items from the Great Tao Formation sect and being a formation master himself, his identity was basically confirmed. Lin Moyu's heart warmed.
A formation master from the Great Tao formation sect. Could there be any formation materials left behind?
He became more careful, his thoughts forming giant hands, carefully taking out the things in the storage ring. He couldn't take them out too quickly. The space in the storage ring was already damaged. Taking things out too quickly might cause them to fall into the space. Soon, the storage ring was emptied, all items neatly arranged in front of Lin Moyu. He looked through them one by one. Materials were classified as materials, boxes containing origin crystal powder were grouped together, and the rest were miscellaneous items. Several minutes later, he finally found a damaged notebook among the miscellaneous items. The notebook was made of white jade as thin as paper, with about 10 jade slips strung together. Unfortunately, the corners were all damaged.
I hope it's as I wish.
Lin Moyu checked the information in the notebook, and the next second, the corners of his mouth turned up slightly. The notebook indeed contained formation materials, and it was this formation master's insights. His name was Wu Zirwei, a formation master from the Great Tao Formation sect. The notebook contained his insights on learning formations, as well as descriptions and records of various formations. These formations all came from the Great Tao Formation sect, ranging from weak to strong, 10 formations in total. Among them, 2 formations had already surpassed the 9th level of Tao Venerable. Formations beyond the 9th grade were called Tao formations, divided into low, medium, and high grades. The 2 formations he recorded were low-grade Tao formations. The power of low-grade Tao formations was much stronger than 9th level Tao Venerable formations. These were formations that truly touched upon the Great Tao. According to him, even in the Great Tao Formation sect, not many people could set up Tao formations. Even from his tone, there was a hint of self-satisfaction. However, the notebook was somewhat damaged, and the recorded Tao formations were not complete. This wasn't a problem for Lin Moyu. He could try to repair them. And even with complete formations, he couldn't use them directly. He had to modify them first. Zamun's warning was still in his ears. The formation sect would not allow their formations to leak out. Even through these basic Tao formations, Lin Moyu could glimpse some secrets of Tao formations, greatly enriching his understanding of formations. This had profound significance for his cultivation of formations. This was a great harvest, gaining another trump card and seeing a more brilliant world of formations. Lin Moyu continued to examine the surroundings. Passing by the black slaughter puppets, he didn't hesitate to collect them all into his own storage space. The materials for black slaughter puppets were very precious and valuable. Perhaps they could fetch a good price in the future. Not knowing what the outer sky Great Tao was like, it was always better to be prepared. There were remains of 6 black slaughter puppets here, all collected. This space suddenly became empty. After collecting the last black slaughter puppet, Lin Moyu saw a clean white jade tablet in the corner. The jade tablet was intact and placed in a relatively hidden position, obviously deliberately placed here. His soul power stirred, and he immediately saw the information inside. An authoritative voice transmitted from the jade tablet.
My name is Wu Ziwei, an elder of the Great Tao Formation sect. During this catastrophe, I was ordered to set up formations for puppets here. Disciples of the Dao puppet sect attempted to peek at our sect's formations. Failing to do so, they blocked my escape at the last moment, causing me to perish here. Before my death, I perished together with the black slaughter puppets. If posterity is fortunate enough to obtain this jade tablet, please bring it back to the Great Dao Formation Sect. I promise you entry into the Great Dao Formation Sect to learn the supreme way of formations.
After hearing his words, Lin Moyu frowned slightly and muttered to himself.
This person must be sick.
Wu Zirwei's tone carried a natural arrogance, which made Lin Moyu very uncomfortable. It was clearly he who needed a favor from others, but it sounded as if he was bestowing a great kindness on someone else. Not everyone would be eager to join the Great Dao Formation Sect. However, from this point, it could also be seen that the status of the Great Dao Formation Sect in the Outer Sky Great Dao must be very high. Lin Moyu, with disdain, ignited fierce flames in his palm. The next second, screams came from the Jade Tablet, Chapter 3510, a talent and used for many years. Bringing the Jade Tablet back to the Great Dao Formation Sect was nothing more than bringing back the remnant soul inside the Jade Tablet. Great Dao realm beings always have some life-saving methods that ordinary people can't imagine. This formation master called Wu Zirwei wasn't dead. The soul imprint on the storage ring didn't dissipate because he died, but because he actively dispersed it. His remnant soul was actually hidden in this clean white jade tablet. His true purpose was for someone to bring him back to the Great Dao Formation Sect. At that time, the Great Dao Formation Sect would have a way to revive him. Even if he couldn't recover to his peak state, at least he could survive. Unfortunately, he was too arrogant, thinking that by dangling the bait of joining the Great Dao Formation Sect, someone would eagerly deliver him there. He happened to encounter Lin Moyu, not to mention that now they were isolated and couldn't go there at all. Even if they could go, Lin Moyu wouldn't do such a thing. Moreover, under the undead eye, this remnant soul had nowhere to hide. The world-burning fire burning a Great Dao realm remnant soul couldn't kill it in a short time. It would take quite a while to burn it to death. Screams echoed in this space. To be on the safe side, Lin Moyu had already deployed the skeleton hell, sealing the exit with Supu guarding there. A Great Dao realm remnant soul might have some strange methods.
Do you know who I am? How dare you burn my soul?
An angry voice transmitted from the jade tablet. Lin Moyu didn't pay any attention to him at all, instead making the fire burn even more fiercely. A remnant soul completely surrounded by the world-burning fire emerged from the jade tablet. He roared angrily.
Junior, stop immediately. Do you know who this old man is?
Even in this situation, he was still so arrogant. No wonder the people of the Dao puppet sect despised him so much that they wanted to drag him down with them even in death. Lin Moyu also disliked him. He then threw the jade tablet far away and stepped back a few steps to prevent any excessive actions from him. Lin Moyu's voice was cold.
You seem to not understand the situation. I'll give you a chance. Take a good look and think carefully.
Wu Zirwei said.
This old man is an elder of the Great Dao Formation Sect.
Lin Moyu interrupted him.
Wu Zirwei, right? I know. Don't try to scare me with the Great Dao Formation Sect. It's useless.
Wu Zirwei said in a low voice.
Do you know what the Great Dao Formation Sect represents?
Lin Moyu sighed.
It seems your cultivation has made you stupid. The Great Dao Formation Sect means nothing in my eyes. If you have nothing else to say, then just wait obediently to be burned to death.
As he spoke, Lin Moyu made the fire burn even more fiercely. Wu Zirwei screamed in agony again. After burning for a while, he finally couldn't help but ask.
What do you really want to do?
Lin Moyu said.
That's better. Now I'll give you two choices. One is to be burned to death by me. Two is to tell me all the formations you know, and swear a Great Dao oath that I can find a chance to send you back to the Great Dao Formation Sect in the future. Just like that, choose one of the two. Make your choice.
Wu Zirwei didn't even think.
The formations of my Great Dao Formation Sect cannot be leaked to outsiders.
Lin Moyu said very decisively.
All right then, I'll take that as you choosing the first option by default.
Actually, Lin Moyu knew clearly that the Great Tao Formation sect must have ways to control their disciples, preventing the leakage of formations. Of course, it wouldn't be all formations, probably just the most core ones. The Great Tao Formation sect would definitely have some control. It might not be that Wu Zirwei was unwilling to speak, but that he truly couldn't speak. If that was the case, then it was better to be straightforward. There was no need to say more. The world-burning fire was unleashed at full power, several times more intense than before. Wu Zirwei screamed incessantly, and in the midst of his screams, he roared.
Then let's die together.
A formation suddenly appeared all around. His remnant soul rapidly consumed itself, activating the formation. The remnant soul lost a large amount of power, quickly being refined by the world-burning fire, while the formation also began to operate intensely at the same time. Lin Moyu's expression changed. He cursed inwardly and immediately rushed towards the exit, but he was still a step too late. Boom! With a huge explosion, this layer blew apart. The enormous power instantly tore Lin Moyu's physical body to shreds. The entire city shook violently. The circular building was blown away, and the surrounding area was completely turned into ruins. This was a Tao protection fortress, and the materials used inside were incredibly sturdy. The power of this explosion had already surpassed the Great Tao realm. Lin Moyu simply couldn't resist it. Purple light flickered, and Lin Moyu completed his rebirth within the purple light. It had been too long since he had used this talent. After completing the rebirth, Lin Moyu felt a sense of renewal. At the same time, he also felt a lingering fear.
Fortunately, I have the rebirth talent. Otherwise, I would have really died. Indeed, Great Tao realm beings are not to be trifled with. They have too many backup plans, each more troublesome than the last.
Wu Zirwei had set up a self-destructing formation in this space. This formation, powered by his Great Tao realm soul power, had a power no less than if he had self-destructed once. This was his last resort for a desperate situation. He hadn't used it when dealing with the black slaughter puppets before, but unexpectedly used it here. However, in the explosion, Wu Zirwei didn't seem to have escaped unscathed either. His remnant soul first exhausted its power, then was hit by the explosion, and could no longer resist the world-burning fire. It was completely refined, becoming a soul crystal. The soul crystal refined from a Great Tao realm remnant soul was of excellent quality. Lin Moyu casually tossed it to the dragon soul crystal. The 11th color of the dragon soul crystal was gradually taking shape, but it was still a bit short of truly forming. High-quality soul crystals were the best supplements. This place had been completely turned into ruins. Lin Moyu's gaze swept across, and the corners of his mouth turned up slightly.
So many backup plans, one after another.
He came to a corner, and the skeleton hell enveloped this corner. The hell fiends once again began to gnaw at the ground. During the explosion earlier, most of the force was directed upwards, and the ground of this layer hadn't been greatly impacted. All this looked normal, but thinking carefully, it wasn't actually normal. How could an explosion be so directional? It must have been specially arranged. But why arrange it like this? Naturally, it was to prevent certain things from being affected by the explosion. In the undead eye, a faint soul flame was hidden beneath the ground in the corner. This was also Wu Zirwei's backup plan. His remnant soul wasn't in just one place. There was another. If conditions hadn't been limited, Wu Zirwei probably wouldn't have prepared his backup plan so crudely. It must have been too urgent at the time, so there was no other way. The ground was quickly gnawed away a layer, revealing a divine rune. That strand of remnant soul was hidden within the divine rune, while the divine rune was used to conceal its aura. Unfortunately, none of this escaped Lin Moyu's eyes. The world-burning fire burned fiercely, and the remnant soul screamed incessantly again. This time, Lin Moyu didn't ask him various questions. He was too lazy to ask again. As the world-burning fire burned, the lightning lich flew out, throwing a chain lightning at it. The lightning exploded, and Lin Moyu felt the changes in the chain lightning. It didn't spread to distant places. This indicated that this was truly Wu Zirwei's last backup plan. Wu Zirwei screamed even more frantically, but Lin Moyu ignored it. He no longer wanted to ask about the Great Tao Formation Sect's formations from his mouth. He only wanted Wu Zirwei to die. Chapter 35:11. This question is well asked. Wu Zirwei died screaming, and Lin Moyu once again obtained a soul crystal, which became food for the dragon soul crystal. After the intense explosion just now, most of the circular building that had stood for countless years had turned into ruins. When Lin Moyu flew out, he saw the three ancestors and the Beast Emperor already waiting outside. The explosion earlier was too intense, attracting both of them over. Seeing Lin Moyu unharmed, the Beast Emperor chuckled.
I told you young friend Lin wouldn't have any problems.
The three ancestors seemed disdainful.
A scourge lasts 1,000 years. This kid would find it hard to die even if he wanted to.
Lin Moyu said.
Did the elders deal with the black slaughter puppet?
The three ancestors nodded.
It wasn't anything difficult. If it wasn't because we're here.
At this point, he suddenly changed the subject.
Did you have any gains?
Lin Moyu knew that if it wasn't for the restrictions here, with the three ancestors' ability, he could have easily killed the black slaughter puppet with just a finger. It was only because they were here that things became a bit troublesome. Lin Moyu said,
I suppose I had some gains. There was a remnant soul inside.
The Beast Emperor was stunned.
A remnant soul?
Lin Moyu nodded.
A formation master from the Great Tao Formation Sect, not completely dead, left behind a strand of remnant soul. He wanted me to help him return to the Great Tao Formation Sect, saying he could allow me to join the Great Tao Formation Sect.
The Beast Emperor suddenly laughed.
That's right, truly the style of the Great Tao Formation Sect.
The three ancestors said.
The Great Tao Formation Sect is just like that, looking down on others from high above. Even during the catastrophe, they were very arrogant.
The Beast Emperor said.
They control the way of formations. Although there's no Tao Lord in the formation Great Tao yet, the Great Tao Formation Sect already considers itself the Lord of the Great Tao, so naturally they're arrogant.
The three ancestors' tone was even more disdainful.
They merely obtained an origin formation, studied it for countless years, and still haven't figured it out. I don't think the position of Tao Lord will fall to them.
The Beast Emperor said.
The position of Tao Lord isn't so easy to attain. If they had the ability to attain it, they would have done so long ago, not waiting until now. Young friend Lin, you didn't agree to that fellow's request, did you?
The three ancestors said.
There aren't many good people in the Great Tao Formation Sect. Even if you really sent him back, they might not necessarily give you any benefits. It's better not to join such a sect.
Lin Moyu smiled.
Even if I wanted to go, I couldn't go now, could I?
He said this to probe the attitudes of the two. He didn't know what kind of relationship the Great Tao Formation Sect had with the three ancestors and the Beast Emperor, so he wouldn't say at first that he had killed Wu Zirwei. Now, hearing their evaluation of the Great Tao Formation Sect, he had a better understanding. The Beast Emperor said,
If you can avoid going, it's better not to go. When you go to the outer sky Great Tao someday, find a corner, throw his remnant soul there, and pretend this never happened.
Lin Moyu said,
I'm afraid I can't throw it away now. I've already killed him. Ah?
The Beast Emperor exclaimed, clearly surprised. The three ancestors asked,
You really killed him?
Lin Moyu nodded.
I killed him.
The Beast Emperor said,
That's troublesome. You'll have to be careful when you go to the outer sky Great Tao in the future. The people from the Great Tao Formation Sect might target you.
Lin Moyu was a bit puzzled. He had indeed killed Wu Zirwei, but how could the Great Tao Formation Sect target him? When Wu Zirwei died, no mark had fallen on him. The three ancestors explained,
There's an origin formation in the Great Tao Formation Sect. From this origin formation, countless formations have evolved, including one that stores the soul imprints of all disciples of the Great Tao Formation Sect. If someone kills their disciple, they will also be marked by that formation. Moreover, all disciples of the Great Tao Formation sect possess a movable formation disconnected to that celestial formation. So if you encounter disciples of the Great Tao Formation sect, they will know that you once killed someone from the Great Tao Formation sect.
The Beast Emperor added,
They don't need to leave any mark on you. That formation is guided by the Destiny Great Tao, so you won't have any awareness of it.
Hearing this, Lin Moyu couldn't help but feel relieved. Guided by the Destiny Great Tao. That's just perfect. He wasn't in the Destiny Great Tao at all, so it probably wouldn't be possible to mark him. But since the three ancestors and the Beast Emperor said so, he still needed to be careful. Lin Moyu asked,
What is an origin formation?
The Beast Emperor said,
Heaven and earth have their origin. There are countless great Taos in this world, and each great Tao has its origin, just in different manifestations. The origin of the formation Great Tao is that origin formation. It is the source of all formations. If one wants to become a Tao Lord, the simplest method is to obtain the origin of that Tao. Comprehending the origin gives one the chance to become a Tao Lord. The Great Tao Formation sect obtained the origin formation, grasping the origin of the formation Great Tao. Unfortunately, over so many years, no one has been able to comprehend the origin formation, so the position of Tao Lord in the formation Great Tao remains vacant.
Lin Moyu said,
It's been so long since the origin catastrophe. Perhaps someone in the Great Tao Formation sect has already become a Tao Lord?
The Beast Emperor said,
No, at least not yet.
The three ancestors snorted.
Kid, don't try to trick us into talking. We would sense it if someone became a Tao Lord. It's been 200 million years since the last time someone became a Tao Lord.
200 million years, wasn't that after the origin catastrophe? It seems that after the origin catastrophe, new Tao Lords still appeared in the outer sky Great Tao. The Beast Emperor said,
It was just a Tao Lord of an ordinary Great Tao, not much use.
The three ancestors said,
But it's still a Tao Lord. A Tao Lord is a Tao Lord, always different.
The Beast Emperor said with disdain.
Yes, you're right about everything.
From their conversation, Lin Moyu captured some more information. The Beast Emperor clearly didn't think much of that new Tao Lord, even looking down on them. It wasn't just looking down on their status, but also their strength. In other words, the Beast Emperor's true strength was stronger than that Tao Lord of an ordinary Great Tao, or at least not weaker. Moreover, the Beast Emperor clearly looked down on ordinary Great Taos, so what he wanted was naturally the origin Great Tao. What the Beast Emperor and the three ancestors were pursuing was the position of Tao Lord of the origin Great Tao. Origin continent, origin Great Tao, origin techniques. Everything has its origin. The origin points directly to the core of things. One who obtains the origin obtains the world. This saying was very applicable on the origin continent. Lin Moyu took the opportunity to ask,
This junior has something to ask the elders.
The three ancestors said,
Go ahead and ask. We can't answer everything.
Facing this little fox Lin Moyu, the three ancestors also had to keep something back, not able to say everything. Lin Moyu asked,
Previously, when this junior went to the Soul Void, I found that some great Taos couldn't be used in the Soul Void, or their power was greatly reduced, but some great Taos were unaffected. May I ask why this is?
The three ancestors chuckled.
This question is well asked.
Lin Moyu raised an eyebrow.
How so?
The three ancestors said,
Because this old man doesn't know the answer to this question either.
The Beast Emperor also chimed in.
That's right, we don't know either. This emperor has thought about this question before, but never figured it out.
The three ancestors said,
Perhaps only that person would know the answer.
Lin Moyu's heart skipped a beat. The person the three ancestors referred to, wasn't it the green-robed old man? Chapter 35:12. What would I do if it were me? Lin Moyu asked a question that neither the three ancestors nor the Beast Emperor knew the answer to, effectively ending this exchange. The three ancestors said,
Do you want to go down and take another look?
Lin Moyu said.
That's about it. There shouldn't be anything left. This factory is completely ruined.
The Beast Emperor said.
The puppets of the Dao puppet sect were quite good. They played a significant role during the origin catastrophe. What a pity.
The three ancestors sighed.
Back then, all the sects displayed their abilities and worked together to get through that catastrophe. Who wasn't fighting for their lives?
He looked at Lin Moyu.
If there's nothing else, let's go.
Suddenly, the Dao protection fortress below began to shake. Not just the Dao protection fortress, but the entire space was shaking. Lin Moyu's expression changed slightly. He sensed that the space had changed, as if it was being compressed by some powerful force. The Beast Emperor shouted,
Bad news, that old fellow is sealing the relic from beyond the sky.
The great Dao realm being hidden in the origin continent was suddenly taking action, trying to seal the space and trap them inside. Lin Moyu knew that being trapped was impossible. Whether it was the three ancestors or the Beast Emperor, they could break this space with brute force. But after breaking the space, whether they would enter the origin continent or end up outside the origin continent was hard to say. Most likely they could return to the origin continent, but there was a small chance they might end up outside the origin continent. Even if it was just a small probability, for the three ancestors and the Beast Emperor, it could mean years of effort wasted in an instant. However, Lin Moyu wasn't anxious because the three ancestors wasn't anxious. Lin Moyu knew the calculations of this old fox, the three ancestors. Having laid plans for so many years, how could he not have anticipated the current situation? Sure enough, the three ancestors wasn't anxious at all.
No need to hurry, he can't seal it.
The Beast Emperor was stunned.
Do you have another backup plan?
The three ancestors said.
Just watch.
As he spoke, he waved his large hand, and a gentle force enveloped Lin Moyu. The three of them immediately flew towards the exit. The space was still shaking violently, but Lin Moyu found that the situation of the shaking had changed. Previously, it seemed like someone was trying to seal the exit, but now it was shaking due to a great battle. Both sides of the battle were great Dao realm beings. One was an old acquaintance, the king of the Boundary Sea, and the other was that hidden great Dao realm being. How could the three ancestors not have calculated clearly? He had invited the Beast Emperor to come and deal with the Black Slaughter puppet together, and naturally would also guard against others tampering with the relic from beyond the sky. So the three ancestors had also invited the king of the Boundary Sea. Sure enough, everything had been calculated by the three ancestors. The Beast Emperor also sensed the aura of the king of the Boundary Sea and chuckled.
So you called Old Black. You really have a way.
The three ancestors said.
That fellow was hiding deep. It wouldn't be easy to dig him out, so this time we used the tactic of drawing the snake out of its hole to lure him out. He dared to scheme against this old man, so he should be prepared to be schemed against by this old man.
The Beast Emperor said.
What do you plan to do?
The three ancestors said.
That fellow hasn't just schemed against this old man, he's also scheming against you. What do you plan to do?
The Beast Emperor laughed.
Anything goes. Anyway, this emperor won't let him off easily.
The two discussed and planned how to deal with the opponent. But no matter how they planned, Lin Moyu found that neither of them thought about killing the opponent. Thinking back, when the opponent schemed against the three ancestors, it seemed he didn't think about killing the three ancestors either, just wanting to disrupt the three ancestors' plans.
They probably can't kill each other.
Lin Moyu thought to himself. The opponent should be like the three ancestors and the Beast Emperor, just an avatar that came to the origin continent. Killing an avatar wouldn't cause much damage to the main body. If they really killed each other, the grudge would become too great. So this time, neither the Beast Emperor nor the three ancestors thought about killing the opponent. They just wanted to teach him a lesson to make him behave. The best method would be to seal the opponent until the great changes in heaven and earth were over, not letting him come out to cause trouble again. This was already the limit. Besides this, there was another method, which was like how he dealt with Withering and Flourishing Elder, forcing Withering and Flourishing Elder to make mistakes and be forcibly expelled by the Great Tao. However, as long as the opponent didn't lose his reason, this method would be basically very difficult to achieve. Arriving at the entrance of the relic from beyond the sky, they saw the king of the Boundary Sea fighting fiercely with a black-robed person. The two seemed to be fighting intensely, but were also holding back. This was already within the scope of the relic from beyond the sky. If the two of them destroyed the relic from beyond the sky, once the Tao Protection Fortress inside fell into the origin continent, the two would have to bear huge karmic consequences. Neither of them wanted to bear this karma. The king of the Boundary Sea was tightly entangling the black-robed person. The black-robed person tried to break free several times, but was blocked by the king of the Boundary Sea each time. The Beast Emperor sneered.
Old sneaky bastard, it's really you causing trouble behind the scenes. Watch how this old man beats you up.
As he spoke, the Beast Emperor had already charged over, manifesting countless fist shadows, bombarding the black-robed person. The black-robed person roared angrily, emitting countless black chi that turned into shields, blocking the Beast Emperor's fists. The Beast Emperor took the opportunity to rush to his front, his fist attacks falling like raindrops. The black-robed person was surrounded by fists on all sides, each punch capable of severely injuring a 9th-level Tao Venerable. The king of the Boundary Sea took the opportunity to disengage from the battle, leaving the battlefield to the Beast Emperor. The three ancestors brought Lin Moyu to the entrance, joining up with the king of the Boundary Sea, firmly guarding the entrance. The entrance to the relic from beyond the sky was also the exit. There was no other way out besides this. The king of the Boundary Sea smiled.
Young friend Lin, I didn't expect to meet again so soon.
Lin Moyu said.
Elder, did you enjoy the fight just now?
The king of the Boundary Sea said.
It was average. I didn't dare use full power here, so it wasn't very enjoyable.
The three ancestors said.
Then why did you come back? Why not join the Beast Emperor in beating him up?
The king of the Boundary Sea said.
That Beast Emperor fellow doesn't like others helping him. Let him fight. I didn't expect this old guy to sneak in too. It's good that you discovered him this time. Otherwise we might have been ambushed without knowing.
The three ancestors said.
Indeed, he was exposed this time because he couldn't resist taking action. Who knows what methods he's been up to behind our backs. We all need to check ourselves when we get back, just to be safe.
The king of the Boundary Sea said.
We indeed need to check ourselves. Lend me your truth-seeking mirror. It'll be more convenient for checking.
The three ancestors nodded.
I'll check myself first, then send the truth-seeking mirror to you.
The king of the Boundary Sea looked pleased.
Good. I don't believe that this sneaky fellow can cause any big trouble.
Lin Moyu listened quietly while analyzing. The three ancestors looked at Lin Moyu's silent appearance.
Little fox, what are you thinking about?
Lin Moyu said.
I'm thinking if it were me, what would I do?
The three ancestors asked.
What would you do?
Lin Moyu said.
I would take advantage of this opportunity when all of you elders have entered the relic from beyond the sky to make my move. Three ancestors, you're scheming against him. But wouldn't he know that you're scheming against him?
The words were a bit convoluted, but they made the three ancestors fall into deep thought. What Lin Moyu said wasn't without reason. The three ancestors said in a low voice.
These past few days, the Beast Emperor and I haven't been in the origin continent. It is indeed a good opportunity. If he were to make his move now, although he might not be able to completely disrupt our plans, he could at least keep us busy for a while, giving him more time. But if he does this, he'll be completely exposed.
Lin Moyu said.
Actually, being exposed doesn't matter much. You can't kill him in the origin continent, and it's also very difficult to drive him away, so he can act without fear.
Chapter 35:13. It's best not to notice me. Lin Moyu's words were all correct, basically accurate. The three ancestors and the king of the Boundary Sea knew this was the case, so the opponent could act without restraint. Lin Moyu asked.
Elder, who exactly is he?
The three ancestors said.
Didn't the Beast Emperor just say it?
The Beast Emperor had called out.
Oldin's son.
Earlier, Lin Moyu thought it was just an insult, but it turned out to be his actual name. In-sun. Lin Moyu was surprised. This name was quite fitting. The king of the Boundary Sea said,
His name is In Shun, but we usually call him In Sunday. This old fellow is very sneaky.
The Beast Emperor was fighting very happily at this moment, punching down one fist after another while shouting,
Oldin's son, see how this old man beats you up.
In Shun didn't speak, only occasionally letting out cold laughs. The Beast Emperor's momentum was overwhelming, seemingly firmly suppressing him, beating him without giving him a chance to fight back. But Lin Moyu could see that the Beast Emperor wasn't actually gaining much advantage. It was mainly because In Shun wasn't fighting back much, spending most of the time on defense. The more he watched, the more something felt off. Lin Moyu suddenly had a thought.
He's stalling for time.
He immediately said to the three ancestors,
He should be stalling for time.
The mist surrounding the three ancestors clearly changed. The three ancestors, who had been watching the show, suddenly took action. A giant hand fell from the sky, the three ancestors' momentum even more overwhelming than the Beast Emperor's. This was the first time Lin Moyu had seen the three ancestors truly take action. As soon as he moved, it was as if he was fighting for his life, feeling like he wanted to kill. Could his one sentence have such a great effect? Or had the three ancestors thought of something? The space became muddy, and In Shun seemed to be stuck in a swamp, unable to move. The Beast Emperor also struggled to break free, clearly startled. He cursed angrily.
Have you gone mad?
In Shun also shouted.
Old three, did you take the wrong medicine?
The three ancestors said in a low voice.
If you ruin this old man's plans, this old man will not rest until one of us is dead.
In Shun cursed.
Madman, you three-time madman.
His black robe suddenly expanded, instantly breaking through the swamp, then exploded with a boom. Powerful force erupted, shattering the space. The Beast Emperor and the King of the Boundary Sea shouted in unison.
Not good, the space is about to break.
Lin Moyu let out a light shout, and the space Great Tao suddenly appeared. He simultaneously manifested the profound power of the space Great Tao. The space Great Tao scattered its vast power, immediately suppressing the breaking space with the power of the space Great Tao, then slowly recovering. Lin Moyu said,
Three ancestors, what are you trying to do?
The three ancestors said,
If I didn't do this, would that fellow leave?
Lin Moyu said,
So you used me.
The three ancestors said,
What else? You have the space Great Tao. Wouldn't it be a waste not to make good use of it?
The three ancestors wasn't really fighting for his life. He just wanted to scare In Shun away. Otherwise, if In Shun didn't retreat, this great battle would go on for who knows how long. Moreover, he knew Lin Moyu had the space Great Tao, so he wouldn't watch the space shatter and let the Tao protection fortress fall into the origin continent. A moment later, the space finally recovered. The three ancestors waved his hand.
Let's go back. We don't know what Oldin's son has done. Let's all go take a look and check thoroughly. After I use the truth-seeking mirror, I'll send it over to you. Don't let any of them off.
The three ancestors was eager to return and immediately activated the formation, rushing out of the relic from beyond the sky. Above the origin continent, accompanied by a distortion in space, the four of them appeared simultaneously. Not even 2 seconds after coming out, the three ancestors' expression suddenly changed.
Oldin's son, are you seeking death?
He had already sensed the changes. Many of his years of arrangements had gone wrong. The Beast Emperor also said in a low voice,
Those fellows actually started fighting.
The King of the Boundary Sea frowned tightly.
The spirit beasts in the Boundary Sea are in an uproar?
The arrangements of all three had encountered unexpected situations. The three ancestors said in a low voice,
Let's go deal with it first, salvage what we can. We'll discuss the rest later. Go!
The forms of the three disappeared simultaneously, leaving extremely quickly, without even saying goodbye to Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu didn't know exactly what had happened, but it certainly wasn't anything good. However, as long as his Yuedao city was fine and the undead empire was safe, he didn't care about the rest. With a thought, he contacted the Legion commander in the undead empire far away in the western continent, obtaining the latest information. The undead empire was indeed safe and sound. He, a small fry, hadn't been noticed by the big shot In Shun. This was a good thing.
It's best not to notice me.
Lin Moyu thought to himself as he spread his undead wings and flew towards Yuedao City. He fell like a meteor, and just as he was about to approach the ground, he suddenly disappeared. The next second, he had appeared in Yuedao City, using the origin spirit vein for teleportation, which was very convenient. Returning to his courtyard, he saw Little Mei leading the others in cultivation. The 4 girls were sitting cross-legged, looking quite proper. Little Mist had no one to play with, so she could only cultivate. Lin Moyu brewed a pot of glacier great Dao tea in the courtyard, drinking tea while studying divine rune formations. He had almost finished studying the formation materials given by Zimun. Along with the materials given by Gu Hanyu, Lin Moyu had thoroughly grasped the basic knowledge of divine runes. Now he also had experience in setting up divine rune formations, and after several modifications to divine rune formations, his experience in divine rune formations was accumulating more and more profoundly. Turning back to look at the formation manual he had obtained this time, although the formations inside were somewhat damaged, it didn't pose any obstacle for him. He could even automatically complete the damaged formations without much thought while looking at them. 10 formations from weak to strong, each with different effects. Among them, Lin Moyu knew at a glance that he couldn't set up the 2 strongest ones with his current ability. Those weren't formations belonging to the Dao Venerable Realm, but to the Great Dao formations. At least a pseudo-Great Dao realm was needed to set them up. When setting them up, besides soul power and corresponding Great Dao realm materials, one also needed to draw upon the power of the formation Great Dao. But he could now set up the other 8 formations. Among them, the strongest killing formation was called the 99 Heavenly Thunder Grand Formation. It could draw upon the power of the Thunder Great Dao through the formation. The power of the formation alone had reached the peak of the 9th level of Dao Venerable, even stronger than the space-rending killing formation. The 99 Heavenly Thunder Grand Formation drew upon pure Thunder Great Dao power. The Thunder Great Dao was an origin Great Dao, which was why the formation's power was so immense. Unfortunately, the amount of Great Dao power drawn upon wasn't much. Otherwise, the formation's power wouldn't be limited to this. Lin Moyu took less than half a day to fully master all 8 formations in the manual. He could set them up at any time. He also firmly remembered the other 2, which he could set up when he became a Great Dao realm being in the future. As for materials, there were many ready-made ones. Those few broken black slaughter puppets, their bodies ground into powder, fused with 9th grade origin crystals, plus soul power and Great Dao power, could be used to set up the formations.
Teacher is back.
Little Mei had just finished cultivating when she saw Lin Moyu, and her little face immediately bloomed into a smile. As Little Mei woke up, Little Wu, Little Mist, and Little Yu also woke up one after another. Lin Moyu waved his hand.
Come over and drink some Great Dao tea.
The group immediately gathered around. What Lin Moyu let them drink was definitely something good. Little Mei explained the effects of the Great Dao tea for Lin Moyu, and the 3 immediately drank cup after cup. Especially Little Mist, who wanted to be lazy the most, so she drank the most. Lin Moyu drew several divine runes, and the divine runes enveloped the courtyard, immediately making the entire courtyard quiet.
Next, I'm going to talk about the true Dao.